Welcome to this video on Japanese penhold equipment. This video will tell you everything you need to know about Japanese penhold equipment from beginner all the way to advanced stage. I don't think there's another Japanese penhold equipment video on YouTube, so in the English language, so hopefully this is useful for people. I thought it would be nice to start with some JPen grades, so if people want to research these guys, these are like the best JPen players ever. Ichiro Ogamura created the forehand loop. Yunnan Q was the first Olympic champion. Seung-Min was just the greatest to ever play the grip. And then you've got the female Fuji Iguchi, Park Kyung-sun, and Hyun Jung-hwa, who all won World Table Tennis Championships, all amazing players in the female category as well, if you want female players or you're a female player playing JPen. Your first question is probably, why is it rectangular? The reason is because the end of the blade is the area where you want to hit, and that's where the sweet spot is. So wider end of the blade means bigger sweet spot, more power. The blade is long as well, and that height to width ratio means that the center of gravity is closer to where the sweet spot is. So that really helps in getting a more powerful swing. The cork handle is really useful as well. It makes the blade a lot more comfortable, and anyone I know who uses the cork handle wouldn't switch to a regular C pen because it's much more comfortable and more easy to do the traditional penhold backhand. So what do you get for your first JPen bat? Well, you need a blade first, and there's a lot of conflicting opinions on which is best. I would say, to start off, you can get one of these blades that are slightly cheaper. They are all round something that isn't too fast, because if it's too fast, you will lack confidence. A lot of the ones I see are quite hard, so you want something quite soft, because that will help you spin the ball, and it will also mean that the ball stays on the bat a little bit longer. So that's really what you want. You want something not too fast and quite soft. The ones on the right here are more preferable, I would say, but they're also more expensive. So if you're on a budget, then go for the MUV, but that's quite a fast blade. So I would say make sure you get a slightly slower rubber on that one. I'll guide you through some options, but basically the ones on the right here are really good wood quality, and yeah, I've written the pros and cons. If the wood quality is really good, then the vibration will be a lot more even, and that means you'll get a more clear, clean feedback through your fingers, the vibrations, and that's gonna mean you have more control basically. It's the J-Tech, it's like a hybrid with a J-Pen handle and a C-Pen shape. Traditionally, people that play close to the table with J-Pen will use rounded shape. What rubber should you put on it? I've tried a few, and my favorite is the Taku Hammond. It's a really nice rubber. You can drive with it, you can spin with it, you can play flat, you can smash, you can basically do everything, and it's got really high level control. I've noticed when I give it to beginner players, they immediately have really good control, feedback, and confidence, which is really important. But I put some alternatives in the bottom right. If you can't get Insaku Hammond where you are, it's quite easy to get from Japan, but difficult to get from other countries. From Japan, it's quite cheap. So you can go on sites like Nishoshi or TT Japan and get your Itaku Hammond, but you can also get stuff from AliExpress and stuff. So I've written some alternatives on the bottom right. Once you've learned the strokes, then you can move on to a high performance rubber. These are four which are really good. Most JPen players use the Tenergy 05, but a lot of people like the G1 these days as well. The speed focused one that Butterfly recommend for JPen players is Bright Eye Speed, but I think they might stop selling it soon. And I've been trialing the Sigma 5, which is quite popular in Korea, which is quite similar to the Tenergy 05 actually. The Tenergy is sort of like the gold standard. The G1 is basically like a clone of the Tenergy, and the Sigma 5 is like a lower throw version, a bit less spin sensitive, but also a bit less speed than the Tenergy 05 and a fast start G1. Because these rubbers are a lot faster than the Hammonds, you'll need a little bit of adjustment periods to get used to them. So I recommend using them on your first blade that you got before moving on to a faster blade. Next, you move on to your first Hinoki blade. Normally, when you get soft blades, they're slower and you sacrifice a bit of speed for more spin. But with Hinoki, you get both. You get a really fast blade, but it's also quite soft and easy to spin the ball. That's why everyone who's a JPen player uses the Hinoki wood. It's the best wood, basically. The thicker it is, the faster it is. So if you want more control, go for the 9mm. Anything than that, it'll be a little bit too fragile. So just bear in mind, it could snap if it's too thin, but 9mm is quite good. The weight also varies a lot, so check the weight. I like about 95 grams. Anything from 90 grams to 110 grams is fine. It just depends on your preference. If you know you've got like a weak wrist, then obviously don't get something really heavy, get something a little bit lighter. You might even want something about 80 grams, but that's down to you. The weight varies a lot because it's just natural wood. Some people like to do DIY and modify their JPen blades to make it more like a JPen blade because they find the handle more comfortable, or you can even change the shape. So you can, this is an option if you like one of the popular JPen blades like the Viscaria or the Super ALC, ZLC blades, then you can do that as well. And make sure you customize your blade for your fingers as well. Otherwise, you won't be able to play for a long time because it will dig into your fingers. So make sure you use a Stanley knife and use some sanding paper, and you make sure it's sanded to exactly where your fingers are and how you're going to play the shot. High quality Hinoki wood has a very close grain structure, so that's what you want to look for. Out of these blades, the slowest is the Musashi, and the most popular in Japan for beginners is the T-Max. So once you're past this level and you're ready to play regional tournaments, then you want to go for something a little bit faster, like these blades. I personally use the VMAX, and it's basically amazing for my level. It's really, really fast, but also has really good control. So I recommend the VMAX, but Kim Tae-soo's brand, the Tiger Sword, is also a really good option. And then you've got the Katana Silver as well. That's also quite a good option from Exion. So you've got options. You reach a level where you're playing national level tournaments, then you're going to want something even faster. I think these blades are a little bit too fast for non-professional players, but if you're playing a really high level, then you want to look at something like the Cypress G-Max that Seung-Min used. So these are your national level combos. The most popular one amongst JPen professionals is the Cypress G-Max with the 10G05. This is what most professional players are comfortable with. Nowadays, players want even faster rubbers, harder rubbers. These are some options. There are other options like the Dignix 09C, but these are four really good rubbers that you can upgrade to. They're even faster, even harder, can make even more spin, more speed. They are really hard to use, especially for non-professional players. Really hard to use. So finally, I've done a little summary here, so you can basically just use this guide for what level you're at. If you found this useful, obviously give it a like, share it with people that you think would benefit from it, and I'll leave a few links below from the sites that I use so everyone can benefit. Yeah, thank you very much.